What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another episode of the Premier League Perspective, where we take a look at the weekend's Premier League games, review them, put a bit of a Spurs spin on it, and we've obviously got our scores as well. Me and my brother going in a competition till the end of the season, and we'll see who comes out on top. Let me just remind you of how the scoring works. It is 5 points for a correct scoreline and 1 point for a correct result. At the moment, it is 74 points to me, 65 points to my brother. Let's see the scores at the end of this round as we start off with Chelsea against West Brom. You went 3-1 to Chelsea. I went 2-0 to Chelsea, but West Brom won 5-2.
5-2. What a result for Big Sam. What a result for West Brom as well, and they thoroughly deserved it. I mean, obviously the game changed after that red card for Thiago Silva, because they were 1-0 up Chelsea before that red card, and then that obviously did change the game. But to be fair to West Brom, the quality of their goals were of the very highest quality. Pereira, some super goals. One of them straight from a goalkeeper assist as well. Callum Robinson loves scoring against Chelsea. He scored a wonderful volley, and then Diagna as well. So
He's
got to
been
give
a
him
good
credit.
signing, that Diagna.
Yeah, he has.
Really
He's been
has.
decent.
Would you take him at Spurs instead of Carlos?
I don't know, it's too early for that. I think he probably might have this. I reckon Vinicius would probably be decent for West Brom as well. They're now sitting 8 points off the relegation, off safety, off Newcastle. So still a long way to go for West Brom, but still, maybe there's some life left in them.
Yeah, definitely. But, this result wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the red card, in my opinion.
So,
obviously, Thiago Silva, first game back in ages, and he gets sent off within 22 minutes of the game. But look, it breathed life into the top four race for a bit. I know we've still gained a point on them, but we just didn't fail to capitalise yet again. It's so frustrating.
But Callum Robinson, unbelievable. No goals in 34 games against the rest of the Premier League, but 5 goals in 3 games against Chelsea. Something weird going on there, but it's brilliant.
Mad. But look, everyone in the Premier League must have smiled after seeing that result. But let's move on. No changes in the score after that. We go to Leeds against Sheffield United, which finished 2-1 to Leeds. Both of us going 2-0 to Leeds, so we're very close.
Both of us
but
close,
Sheffield United managed to get that goal, so that makes it 75-65. What did you make out of that Leeds game?
Yeah, I didn't watch the Leeds game, unfortunately. But all to say is, look, not a surprising result. Sheffield United are probably going to lose every game now to the end of the season. Now they don't have Wilder at the helm, and Leeds go level on points with Arsenal with that win. So fair play to them, still having a decent season, Leeds, and obviously they're up, they're in mid-table safety, and they're just trying to see how high they can finish. They're not going to finish in European places, but fair play to them, they're having a good season.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, against that opposition, you expect them to win anyway, don't you? Let's move on. Leicester against Man City finished 2-0 to Manchester City. Both of us, well, I went 1-0, you went 2-1, so it was somewhere in the middle.
Very close, yeah.
So that makes it 76-67. I think there was only ever going to be one winner in this game, to be fair.
Mate, they thoroughly deserved it, City. They were absolutely on top of Leicester. It was only really a matter of time before City scored, and they kept attack after attack, wave after wave. Leicester just couldn't cope. They had a few moments on the counter, to be fair to them, Leicester. One of them from Vardy, who was just offside when he put the ball in the back of the net, and Tielemans had a half chance as well, which was good defending. But other than that, there was only one team looking to win this game, and look, it's a procession now to the title. They've definitely won the league, and it's just a matter of when, not if. And again, they showed how good a squad they had. A lot of changes, but fantastic performance and fantastic win for Man City.
Is it better for us if they've won the league before the Carling Cup the Carabao Cup final, or after?
They have won the league already, what I mean?
But in terms of state of mind though, because you remember Liverpool, they had won the league for so long, and as soon as it was mathematically possible they won the league, they went off the rails a bit.
Can they win the league before we play them?
Can they? I'm not
I don't
sure.
think so. I don't know if they can, because we play them in 3 games' time. So they'll have how many games left? They'll have 4 games. If they could win the league, actually, if they win the next 3 games, I think, because that'll be 12 point. Their gap's now 14 points, and there'll only be a 12-point gap. So
obviously United and Leicester can drop points along the way as well. Yeah,
so maybe they could win the league by the time we play them in the cup final. I don't know whether it'd be benefit or not. I don't think it makes too much of a difference. Probably want them to have won the league, I guess. I'm not sure.
I think I've won the league.
I don't think it makes too
personally.
much of a difference.
You're right, it doesn't make too much of a difference, but sometimes once a team's objective is complete, they kind of take their eye off the ball a bit.
Yeah, essentially.
Anyway, the scores on the doors at the moment, 76-67 as we move on to Arsenal against Liverpool. 3-0 to Liverpool at the Emirates. I went 2-1 to Liverpool. You went to 2-2. Arsenal were absolutely shocking in this game, weren't they?
Shambolic.
The worst I've seen them under Arteta.
Gary Neville called them a little mafia in the front line, saying that there's something wrong at the club. And look, I don't know about that, but that was a real shockingly bad performance, because usually Arsenal against the better teams under Arteta, they've usually given them a game, and usually been well in the game and had a lot of big performances, beating City and beating. I think they've beaten Liverpool like a couple times under Arteta.
So they beat them in the Community Shield, and I think did they beat them in the league game as well?
Back end of last season they beat them. So I think putting that kind of performance was probably a real shock to the system for Arsenal and Arteta, how poor they were. That does leave them lagging really far behind now, even in terms of top six. We're in 6th now, and they're 7 points behind that with 8 games to go. So it's going to be a tall order for them to even get Europa League, let alone Champions League is obviously gone. But Europa League, even that is going to be a tall order now for them. It looks like they're going to have to win the Europa League, which they are still in, to be fair. So Liverpool completely deserved it. Diogo Jota's becoming one of the signings of the season for 40 million with another goal. Coming back from injury, he's really slotted in well at Liverpool. He's such a good player. And
Trent back to business as well.
Trent was fantastic. He really is back to his best. I'm sure he'll be going to the Euros, whatever people have been saying. And Arsenal, look, they're 10th in the league, and trust the process, as they say.
Exactly. Let's keep trusting it. All right, so after that I gained a point, so it's 10-point gap now, 77-67 as we move on to Southampton, who won 3-2 at home to Burnley. I went 1-1, you went 2-1 to Southampton, so you gain a point there, 68-77. Did you see much of this game?
Well, we were watching a bit before Spurs, weren't we? And we saw the second half where they, was 2-2, but they got that winner through Nathan Redmond. And fair enough, Southampton, when 2-0 down with the run they've been on, it would have been very easy for them to just kind of fold and accept the result. But they fought back. I thought they were actually pretty good after going 2-0 down. They completely deserved to come back. And
about time they've looked good.
Yeah, look, but fair play to them. Burnley were going to make it tough, especially when they're 2-0 up. You expect Burnley to make it very, very difficult for you. But they turned it around, Southampton. They got 2 quick-fire goals. They got the winner from Redmond in the second half. And fair play to them. It was a good win for them. And that probably, if it wasn't secure already, that probably should save them from any kind of lingering relegation threat. To one that win.
Yeah, look, I don't think they were ever in danger of. I know, they were having some terrible results, but I don't think they were actually ever going to go down.
There was a point where if this, there was 8 and 9 losses, and you're thinking if they carry this on, they might actually. But I think that one win now, it means even if they lose every game from now to the end of the season, they should be fine.
All right, 68-77, Newcastle Spurs. We all know what happened, 2-2. We both went 2-0 to Spurs.
And I captained Son in this game as well.
At least I captained Kane, so I mean it worked for me. But look, an absolute disaster class. What more can we say on it?
Yeah, shambolic to put in that kind of display against a Newcastle team who have struggled badly this season, and especially to concede so many chances. You really should be suffocating them and making sure they don't create anything. And it was very disappointing. Luckily, we're still in the top 4 race because it's so tight. But it just doesn't feel you have any confidence that we're going to go on a run and actually grab it. And it feels like every time we get an opportunity, we keep messing it up. And that doesn't bode well for the future when I'm sure more opportunities will come about, but whether we'll take them or not, I'm not confident.
Look, we're hanging in there by a thread. And if Thiago Silva wouldn't have got sent off this weekend, I think you would say that it is very unlikely we would even be in close. So.
Oh, look, 2 points. It would have been 4 points if Chelsea would have won.
Yeah, with Man United and Everton to play in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. We're still there. Look, we're well in there. We are well in there. We're in there as much as anyone else. It's just we don't take these chances. But look, you can say the same with every other team, to be fair.
You can. But Liverpool look good this week. I expect them to go on a bit of a run now. I don't think this result is going to kind of knock Chelsea. I think they'll be back at what they were beforehand. And West Ham looked really strong last night, so it's going to be very, very difficult. Let's move on to Aston Villa Fulham. 3-1 to Aston Villa. I went 0-0. You went 1-1. Both get 0 points there. But yeah, Aston Villa back to winning ways.
Yeah, even without Jack Grealish, to be fair to him, and also they're 1-0 down with 10 minutes to go, and they end up snatching all 3 points, 3 late goals. So they're going to be absolutely delighted with that. My eyes lit up a bit when I saw there was an equaliser with 10 minutes to go. I'm like, come on, 5 points coming in. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. They did get another 2 late goals. I think we were live at this point, so we didn't really watch the game. But a good win for West Ham. West Ham Villa, Aston Villa. Kind of keep some lingering thoughts of top 6 in there, but still quite unlikely at this point. But with Grealish still to come back in, you never know, maybe they could go on a bit of a run from now to the end of the season. But I think that's a bigger blow for Fulham. I think Fulham would have gone into this game thinking they can get something out of it for sure, and going 1-0 up as well, and being 1-0 up with 10 minutes to go, and to give it up so badly would be frustrating. I saw a couple of the goals. It was quite funny because Mings gave them a goal, which gave Mitrovic a goal, and then the Fulham defender gave the Villa attacker a goal. Was the same thing. They both played short back passes and gave each other a goal, and ended 3-1 to Villa. So fair play to them.
All right, Manchester United.
But do you think Fulham will still stay up?
Do I?
Because they're now a game more than Newcastle, 3 points behind.
I do feel that they'll get better. I mean, it's all going to come down to that Fulham-Newcastle game at the end of the season.
You reckon it'll go down to that game?
I genuinely believe that.
Interesting.
But look, we'll see how it plays out. I think Fulham are a better side than Newcastle, or they're definitely playing better at the moment.
Lost 4 of their last 5 now, Fulham.
Yeah. But still, I mean, they haven't won many games throughout the season, but they have been hard to beat, but obviously not in the last 5 games. But I back them to pick it up again. I really rate Fulham.
Like Newcastle have stopped the stem of defeats, 4 draws in 5.
Yeah, look, there's a long way to go still. Long way to go. Let's move on to United. Brighton finished 2-1 to United. You got it absolutely spot on. 5 points goes your way. I went for 1-0 to Manchester United, so 1 point comes my way. So you have cut the gap to 5 points, 78-73. Brighton, a bit hard done by in that first half, in my opinion.
Should have been more than a goal up. Yeah, they played really well. I think second half, to be fair to Man United, yet again, they keep doing this. They keep having these really poor first halves, being 1-0 down, and then they turn it around in the second half. I do think they did well in the second half to turn it around, and it was a nice goal from Rashford to equalise. And the winner was a bit of luck, but got squeezed in by the end by Greenwood, and it's a bit of a predatory finish. I still like Man United. Again, it was another game where it wasn't inspired or anything. They just got over the line yet again.
But that's what it's all about, man. They keep getting the job done.
They keep doing it.
But that's what it's all about.
I agree, of course. That's what they did.
You got to give them big credit, man. Massive credit goes to Man United because they just keep getting the job done. Winning position, losing position. I know they don't win every single game, but they're sitting nicely second in the league.
Yeah.
I don't think they've got much danger of them dropping out the top 4. So, look. You got to say, when you compare the job Oli did to the job Jose did, you'd probably say Jose, he won trophies and finished second. I don't think they're any better than they were than when Jose was there. But, what it is right now is in a season where everyone is inconsistent except for Man City. They're the second most consistent team in the league, and that table shows that.
Fair enough. Look. He's done well, Ollie. He's to get the Man United players believing every game that they, despite whatever the result is, they're gonna keep turning it around and winning. And fair play to him. They've only lost 4 games this season, so that's pretty impressive. They're very hard to beat, and I think he has shown them up, and they're a lot less leaky. I still think. I don't know. When I watch them, I still don't think what a great team they are. But fair enough, they're second in the league. They deserve to be there, and. Another win for them.
I got a feeling if it does go back to normal next season and everyone is on top of their game, I think they might struggle to get top 4 because I think that there are squads and our teams that are much better than them in terms of
I do get that feeling with United,
Chelsea and whatever.
Yeah.
And I genuinely still believe that Ollie's not really the right man for the job.
Well, they'll probably give him a new contract after this season.
Good for them. Let's move on. Everton against Palace finished 1-1. I went 2-1 to Everton. You went 1-0 to Everton. I mean, right in the middle again. I mean, I was praying that Everton, to be honest, it was a bit of a win-win situation. When Palace equalised, I texted you. I was like, this is a win-win for me now. Either Everton get the goal and I get 5 points, or Everton drop points. So I was happy. To be honest, I was more happy with Everton dropping points than me getting 5 points.
because they would have overtaken us with, I think. Oh no, they would have gone level on points with us with a win.
Yeah, with the game in hand.
Yeah, with the game in hand. So it was a good result. They dropped points. I don't know how they did, because Richarlison missed about 5 massive chances, like real big chances he missed, and he just couldn't get the ball in the back of the net. White had a good game. Everton will probably feel really, really frustrated. They didn't get all 3 points in this one, because I did think in general they played quite well, and they didn't kill off the game. Very similar to when we played at Newcastle earlier in the season, or even Palace ourselves. Like, we had a lot of chances, should have killed off the game, we didn't, and then one chance for Palace, and it's 1-1, and that was it. So Everton will definitely be left ruining their chances. They're currently in 8th now. I think the top 4 chances for them are slipping away a bit. But look, obviously they've got a game in hand to go into above us, so they're still in there. That's for sure. But they're suffering similar to us. They're just suffering from inconsistency.
I mean, their home form is absolutely dire. It really is. They just can't seem to get over the line at Goodison Park. I'm not sure what it is. Their away form is sensational. It's really good, but they just can't seem to get the job done at Goodison, which is a strange one.
Maybe because teams sit back a lot more against them, and it's harder for them to break down. I think they're a lot more at home when they're the defense, kind of sitting back a bit and play on the counter. That's probably more what Ancelotti likes and what Everton prefer, and maybe that's why at home they kind of struggle a bit more. But look, they're still in there, and they're still doing okay, but I think from the beginning of the season, they probably expected to be higher than 8 for this point.
Yeah, but look, it's still so congested in there.
They could. A couple of wins and that's it. They're back up.
1 win and they're back up there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, and the final game of the weekend last night was Wolves against West Ham. Both of us going 1-1, finishing 3-2 to West Ham. West Ham doing their best to try and give up their 3-0 lead once again. But nearly doing it. But look, I thought they were absolutely brilliant in that first half. Jesse Lingard absolutely running rings around them. I mean, this guy, Antonio as well, opening 20 minutes looked really good until he went off injured. But then Wolves really did come back into the game, and I thought they were going to get it back, but wasn't to be in the end.
Yeah, and it's even more impressive the fact that they didn't have Rice, who's injured now, could be out for the rest of the season. And Mikel Antonio went off injured at 2-0, and they still got that third goal after. Nothing affected them yesterday. Well, look, whether over the next 8 games it'll affect them, remains to be seen. But in this game, it definitely didn't, and they're well worth the victory. Wolves obviously did nearly come back, but I think West Ham definitely deserved to hang on to the victory. They're the much better team. And Lingard, maybe we have to start taking him a lot more seriously, because he's week in, week out, consistently, he's putting in these performances and he's doing some amazing things as well. The goal he scored was sensational. Really ran in stuff from his own half all the way through to the Wolves box, and with a calm finish as well. He was heavily involved in the second goal with a Dimitar Berbatov-esque turn on the touchline, and then on the third goal as well, great assist for Bowen. So you got to say, fantastic performance from Lingard.
Jesse Lingard is making the whole of the football community eat their words right now.
He seems like something to prove.
And he has got something to prove, and he's proving it. He damn right is proving it. He's one of the on-form players in the Premier League since the turn of the year, if not the. So look, and with Man United struggling in terms of that position with Martial, because he hasn't had a good season, now he's out injured. Maybe Man United wish they had Jesse Lingard right now.
Potentially. Yeah, maybe they're annoyed they let him go at this point.
Maybe that saved them a signing in the summer, to be fair.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
But anyway, that is the end of the Premier League perspective. The scores on the doors at the end of this week is 78-73 to me. Simeon has clawed some points back. But we'll see what happens next week. The Premier League Predicts will be with you on Friday for the next round. And then obviously the perspective will come to you early next week. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.